Calling all plant parents and Hoya heads alike. This video, you guys, is for you. As you already know, I have a vast collection of Hoya that's well over 75 different varieties. And it's actually probably more than 75. I lost count. And I've seen a lot of transformations from Hoyas as far as my hardest to grow, the more finicky, most finicky type of Hoyas to my easiest care Hoyas. And so today, you guys, I decided to pull a couple of my Hoyas that I feel fit the bill of easy care, easy going, and actually friendly for that first plant parent that is looking to grow a different species. By the way, my name is Pam, and this is my plant journey. Okay, so let me define for you what I would consider easy care. Easy care in my environment would mean actually sitting it in its spot and not really paying too much attention to it, providing the plant with water every once in a while. I say maybe every 2 weeks or so, give or take, depending on whether or not if my indoor climate has changed, whether or not if these plants have given me any issues with pests and things like that. And these plants, these Hoyas, I feel fit the bill. Now, when I go into these Hoyas, I do want to make it clear. Yes, I have not had any experience with pests on these plants, but that does not mean that pests are not capable to be on these plants. We want to keep in mind, any living organism is susceptible to any form of disease or sickness and illness. So let's just take that section with a grain of salt. I can say right now, in regards to my collection, I've had these plants for some years now, and I haven't had any issues with that, knock on wood. So first one I want to make a mention, if you want something that trails beautifully and is strong in structure, I would recommend this Hoya pachada. She's very beautiful. I love the thickness of the leaves as well as the smooth structure of her leaves. You can kind of see that ab ribbing in there. So she's kind of like a boost up, in my personal opinion, for a plant that's all green. Y'all know that I love foliage for what it is. And if you get it to bloom, then that's just like an icing on the cake, so to speak. But she's very beautiful, very easy care. Now she's also, too, for that first time plant parent, she doesn't grow wild, so she can give you, so you'll have ample time to figure out exactly what you want to do with this plant, whether if you want to have her trailing like this or if you want to actually put her up on a trellis. For the most part, a lot of people say, to encourage growth with Hoyas, you need to trellis her. And that may be true with some varieties, but some varieties will be looking more aesthetically pleasing, I think, if you allow her to just trail down. And I've decided to not have her trellised up. Maybe at some point if she becomes a little bit too heavy. But right now, the way I have her displayed on one of my tables is just literally like this. And I love the way that it looks like this. So I am going to leave her be. If I had to put a time frame, which I don't put time frames on any of my plants when I care for them, give them water. I honestly take a look at my collection and let them tell me when they need water. And then if I need to verify, because I don't take their word all the time, I take a feel for their leaves, see if they're pliable, I stick my hand in the soil, see how dry it is, and then I'll make my assessment or determination there. But if you're about the foliage like I am, this Hoya fits the bill for that. This is my Hoya multiflora. I really love this plant because she does not look like your traditional Hoya, meaning that she doesn't have thick, succulent-like leaves. She is not as thick as what a traditional Hoya would be, and I really love just the shape of the leaves. I really admire the foliage. And, Mother Nature, God is amazing in his ways. He really is, because you needed a dramatic bloom to offset what we would consider a plain Jane green plant. But she is beautiful. I love the darkness of her leaves. Like I said, the elongated form. You do see a little bit of that ribbing, that natural beginning stages of what true foliage is. But then you have the blooms. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit showy and it has this pop of beautiful dark green, she is the one to get. If you're looking for a statement piece, something that's a little bit big but controlled, I can't stress it enough. You want to go with a latifolia, really. Latifolias in general have usually the big leaves big, thick, succulent statement piece leaves, whether it be like the macrophylla. But this right here that I wanted to share with you is my Hoya sarowax. She's one of my most beloved Hoyas in my collection. I've had her for several years now. When I first purchased this plant, you guys, she may have been, I think, 3 or 4 leaves. And she is what I would consider a moderate grower. She's not a super fast grower, but with the size of the leaves that she's given me, I'm not mad at her at all. I mean, she is very beautiful to me. This is the latest leaf, by the way, where you can just see the red hue, because I do have her sitting directly across from me, behind you guys, up against the window, which is probably why she doesn't look as dark in color. You can see where she is a little bit chlorotic, and I'm not sure, 100% sure, if it's because of the specimen or the genus, the specimen of this particular genus, or the fact that I have her in this bright light environment. In the beginning stages, when I had her inside my home, she didn't seem to be doing that well as far as growth. And so I moved her here into what I considered a better lighting situation, and she is thus taken off. And also, too, she was one of the plants that I did put outside when I do my Hoya wall every year, but I decided not to keep her continuously going outside. I just prefer growing her indoors. And I was hoping that maybe her leaves would get a little bit darker. And if you look from the contrast from here to here, that is the case. But we also have to keep in mind that this leaf right here is an older leaf. If you're looking for something that really does it all far as size, the beautiful veination that's here, I think she is the way to go and will complement your beginning stages of your plant journey. Now, another piece that's kind of unique slightly, but also considered a common plant now, because you can pretty much find this plant anywhere, I believe. And when I say, I'm sidebar you guys, when I say you can find this plant anywhere, I'm only basing that off of what I see online, you guys. You really, from my perspective, I can't find these plants anywhere, like in the flesh, in the person, whether I go to maybe a local nursery or a big box store. I don't really see these plants. It'd be different kind of things going on, and I don't know if this state is saying, okay, it's not a lot of plant lovers here. I have no idea, but it's really different from the contrast of what I see other people experiencing in different states. So I just want to put that out there. But anyway, this is my Hoya kerrii. I could have had her trailing, and I need to stabilize her stake. I could have had her, I guess, on a trellis, but I wanted to do something different with her. I wanted to actually have her growing straight up, and I really love this. This is something, if you want something a little different, she is a little dusty, you guys. So, I didn't have a chance to wipe her down, so, sue me, but I don't know. I don't know why I said that. Because honestly, you guys, some of you guys can be quite nasty out there with y'all comments, and I don't know why. But anyway, but yeah, you see the heart shape. I love that. And I think she really looks nice growing this way. I could have her wrapped around, but I really prefer her growing up once I stabilize this stake. And usually, if you want something that's a little different, like I said, this is a common plant now. At one point, of course, all plants at one point was a rare, hard to find, and then they become common over the years. This is one of them, of course. Now, I love her because of the thickness of a leaf. She kind of reminds me of a Hoya obovata, with the exception of the leaves being heart-shaped. So she's like a thicker form of a philodendron to me. She's very different. So if you wanted something that's a little bit different in structure and shape, she's definitely the way to go. I haven't had any issues with her. She's been pretty much, I want to say a slow grower, or she grows in phases. It's like she'll give you bursts of growth for a period, and then she'll take a nap for quite some time, and then she'll promote some more growth. But she's very easy care and outgoing. This is the latest leaf that she's given me, these 2 leaves really. And she didn't give me a lot of leaves for a couple of years. She's just starting to wake back up and give me growth. And that's okay, because I love the structure that she has given me thus far. She's a very beautiful plant, you guys. If you don't have this one, I do recommend you trying your hand in her, and I think you would be so filled with joy and just learn something from the plant as well. If you're looking for something that's compact, maybe like a little bush that doesn't take up a lot of space, I'd like to recommend to you guys this Hoya Dickie. I don't know how to pronounce it, you guys. I'm going to put the word of this particular Hoya on the right here for you. But she's small, she's compact, she's dark green. Look at that veination that's in there. Like, oh my goodness, I love a very beautiful veinated plant. Now, initially in the beginning, for me, she wasn't so easygoing, but I put her in this hydroponic situation, and ever since I did that, I haven't had any problems out of her at all. I think for me, she kind of like loves living in here. She's like in a no drainage. I have her planted directly in here, and she's been doing well for me. She's a slow grower, so she's definitely a space saver. So this would be a great plant to have if you are a new plant parent, or let's say you are not a beginner and you have a vast collection like me. You want something different, but you want something that doesn't take up a lot of space. She fits the bill for this. I can't wait to actually get her the flower. I'm curious to see what her flowers look like. But that x-ray like veination that's going on in here is just gorgeous. And she has almost like a little bit of a heart-shaped type of situation going on. So it just really sparks interest. And I mean, I could just really look at her all day. Also, too, she has subtle splashing. So she has all the things that me being a Hoya head loves, all packed into one. So she is definitely the way to go. Now, if you're about whimsical, what does whimsical mean? It means that you haven't taken a look at the past video that I put out about whimsical plants. So go check it out. But if you're looking for something whimsical, dainty, small, I would recommend this beautiful Hoya matild. Guys, for those of us that's been on our plant game, remember how hard it was to find a matild. Remember how everybody was talking about it. And now, fast forward now, you see how easy it is to find one? I've actually been seeing these in real time. Can you believe it? In the big box stores. I've been seeing it in Lowe's. I've been seeing it, I think, in Home Depot, in the small little pack. And they're not expensive at all. They drop dramatically in price. And I actually waited until the price dropped before I finally got this beauty. She is a gorgeous plant, you guys. I love her so much. I love the small leaves. She's so thick. I love the green leaves. I love the subtle splash. Now, of course, you could get her silver variety one, which I do have in my collection as well. But again, this is like for the beginning stages of you trying to get into your plant journey with your Hoyas. You don't know which Hoyas to get, which ones would spark interest. These right here is doing it. And this matild, she definitely does it. The way she's trailing, look at that beautiful lusciousness. Now, she's pretty much a moderate, okay, she has a dry leaf. The leaf is a little dry because I don't water her that much. She's in a very chunky mix. She literally sits right here. So she's getting light from my beautiful Sancy light, but she's also getting this panoramic view of natural light, but several feet away. This is the sweet spot. She doesn't want that bright, intense sunlight, at least for me, because my aesthetic, what I like is that dark green, rich color in the foliage. And she gives me that. This is the sweet spot. Oh my goodness, I love this plant. And she's doing a lot of growth. This is one of the newest tendrils that she shot out. So pretty soon there will be leaves there. You can see some new growth going on right here in this section. And she has small leaves right here. If you haven't tried your hand in this and you want something a little bit more controlled for a trailing plant, she is the way to go. She won't get out of hand as far as, I guess, tendrils growing all over the place. She really looks best, I think, when you have her hanging. To me, in my personal opinion, this would not be one that I would put on a trellis. This last plant, you guys, if you want something strappy, because, you know, we be into the strappy plants. I know I am. I want that beautiful, healthy, green, deep, thick, long anthurium pallidiflorum or vitiflorum. I love strappy leaves, but if you're into strappy Hoya rigida, I love this plant. When I brought this plant a few years back, she literally just had this leaf and this leaf. So far, she's given me all this new growth as well as this. Now, I don't know what happened here. She's still very soft. Something happened with her when she unleashed the leaf that caused this damage right here, and I don't know what it is. I'm not cutting it off because I'm just leaving her be. She's literally still soft. If y'all know exactly what that is, if anybody can point that out, I have no idea. But outside of that, all the rest of her leaves are beautiful. I love, y'all know, I love dark greens, bright reds, accents on hues. And you know what, guys? I take it back. I have another Hoya that I wanted to share with you. That this is not the last one. And I actually forgot to get it, but I'm going to go get it because I definitely wanted to talk about that plant. She is the reason why I wanted to do this video to begin with, so I can't leave her out. But anyway, let's go back to the rigida. She's very beautiful, you guys. If you want the strappiness of the leaves, the darkness of the leaves, you can see a subtle with the veination, you guys. But I have not had any issues. She is slow to grow. She's just wakened up after me having her in my collection maybe for 3 years. And now she's starting to pump out all this growth. I want to say for the most part for this year, I say the end of last year throughout up until now, she's given me all of this new growth. And she's getting no other light other than my artificial lighting. She's not anywhere near natural light. And I had actually bent her down. I could have just let her go, but this one was already starting to shoot. So this is a whole new vine that she gave. I just love, 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 love this plant. There are two forms though. I think this is the long leaf one, but they also have one that's I think like a round leaf. At least that's what I've seen online. I haven't really actually seen one in person, but it looks smaller in stature than this one. But I really love this one because I'm into the long strappiness, and it just looks different as far as the Hoyas that I've shown you thus far. Okay guys, so I had to go get this Hoya again. Like I said, this is the reason why I wanted to do this particular video. Every time I walk past her, I just appreciate her foliage. I appreciate the constant blooms that she gave me, and I appreciate just so the easiness of care. She's just been such an extreme joy to grow from the moment I brought her into my home. And that is the Hoya bilobata. I had to give her homage, you guys. This plant is probably, oh man, and this says a lot now that I think about it. As I said before, I have over 75 different varieties of Hoyas. She would fit in the top 10 for sure. I don't want to push it and say she's my number one thus far, but she definitely is number one as far as growth, blooms continuously. She's absolutely beautiful. She does kind of look, like I said, this is the bilobata. She does kind of remind me of that Bertonier, but you can tell the difference between the Bertonier and the bilobata. Bilobata. I'm butchering the name. Don't judge me. It is what it is. But you can tell from, and I'm hoping the camera will pick it up for you guys to see. If you take a look at the leaf, you probably won't even be able to see it because I can see it from here. The leaf shows like a little black edging around the leaves. Can y'all see that? Y'all probably can't. And I apologize if the camera is not picking up. But that's the difference that I've noticed between this plant and the Bertonier. I think the Bertonier is a little bit more, maybe a little bit more fuzzier. See how full she is? I've had this plant probably for 4 years. She grows in my kitchen, you guys. I found the sweet spot for her as far as lighting. Boom, she just been growing and growing and growing. And I will never probably move her out of that spot. And again, like I said, she does give me multiple blooms all the time. And what's tripping me out is you see these two blooms right here, that one and then this one down here. It's like as soon as the blooms die off, then buds are already forming for more blooms to come. I can't recall a time when I haven't seen this plant not bloom. It's almost like she never sleeps. Um, and I've shown y'all the blooms before. They actually do have a scent. I always I can't really smell it. It's not strong. You want to keep in mind Hoya blooms, for some reason, they really get more fragrant towards the evening time. So I can't remember. She has a scent, but the scent is not one of those, this smells beautiful. It's like a little sour tinge to it, but nonetheless, very gorgeous. I definitely recommend this plant for a beginner plant parent. If you want to dip your toes into the Hoya world, by all means, let me tempt you with this beautiful plant right here. Y'all let me know out there in plant world, which one of these Hoyas do you have in your collection? If you have some, if you have all. Can you agree with me to say, okay, they're pretty much easy care, you haven't had any issues with pests, you pretty much can water them whenever you feel like it. They're forgiving when you do miss a watering. Comment and let these new plant parents know the real deal when it comes to these Hoyas, my Hoya head Hoya lovers. I'm calling and counting on you guys to comment, comment, comment. So this is this video, you guys, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.